Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS FANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been following the Browns this offseason, you know that everything was pointing towards a promising season. The team looked sharp in the preseason, especially with Shedeur Sanders making his debut, showing flashes of potential that had fans optimistic about the future. Sanders, the rookie quarterback brought in with much fanfare, had looked great in his first outing, passing for 138 yards and tossing 2 touchdowns in Cleveland's 30-10 victory over the Carolina Panthers. It was a performance that certainly raised eyebrows, and for Browns fans, that moment seemed to symbolize a new chapter, a fresh energy, and a quarterback who might be part of the franchise's bright future. But as we all know, football is unpredictable, and sometimes even the best-laid plans are shaken up in an instant. During Wednesday's joint practice against the Philadelphia Eagles, Sanders suffered an injury that has sent shockwaves through the Browns camp and their fanbase. It happened during individual drills, when Sanders was working on his throws, and unfortunately, it was an oblique injury. Now, the specifics of the injury weren't immediately clear at first, but later in the day, the Browns issued an official statement revealing that Shedeur Sanders had sustained an oblique strain and that he is considered day-to-day. This isn't just a minor setback, folks. An oblique strain can be tricky, especially for a quarterback relying on core strength and rotational power, and it immediately raises questions about his availability for upcoming games, especially that crucial preseason matchup this Saturday. The Browns' statement was pretty clear. Sanders will not practice tomorrow and is unlikely to play in Saturday's game. For a rookie trying to make his mark and impress coaches and fans alike, missing this game is a blow. But it's even more significant considering how well Sanders had performed in his first appearance. He was looking confident, making good reads, and connecting well with his receivers. His enthusiasm and leadership on the field had clearly caught the attention of everyone watching. And let's be honest, Browns fans had every reason to be excited. When Sanders stepped onto the field, it felt like a fresh spark, a symbol of hope that maybe, just maybe, Cleveland had found its next franchise quarterback. And yet, here we are, dealing with the reality of injuries. It's always a roller coaster, isn't it? You get moments of optimism, and then something like this happens. But it's important to remember that Sanders is still at the beginning of his journey. The Browns are taking a cautious approach, prioritizing his health, and rightly so. An oblique strain, if managed properly, can heal faster than some other injuries, but it still requires rest and careful treatment. The coaching staff will be watching him closely over the next few days, and everyone is hoping for a quick recovery. Browns fans, you know how much this team values its young talent, and Sanders' future remains bright, regardless of this setback. Now, this injury comes at an interesting time because it also puts a spotlight on the other quarterbacks competing for playing time. With Sanders likely out, the door opens for other guys to step up, particularly Dillon Gabriel. Gabriel, a third-round pick, missed the previous preseason game due to a hamstring injury, but now is healthy and ready to showcase his skills. He's been working hard, and he knows that every opportunity counts, especially with Sanders sidelined for now. Gabriel has spoken about how every day is critical, how he approaches each practice with a sense of urgency, knowing that the NFL is a league where your last performance is what really matters. It's all about seizing the moment, and he's aware that with Sanders out, the spotlight might be on him even more. Gabriel's mindset is clear. He recognizes that he's got to put his best foot forward every day. That consistency is key when competing at this level. He mentioned that he doesn't really know what the coaching staff's plans are for the game day, emphasizing that it's ultimately up to the coaches to decide who plays and when. But what's certain is that he's eager to make an impression, to build on the momentum Sanders had started in that strong preseason debut. And with Kenny Pickett also dealing with a hamstring injury, the Browns' quarterback depth chart is a bit shaken up right now, which makes Gabriel's chance even more significant. Browns fans, you should be excited about the depth this team has at quarterback, even if the top two options are temporarily unavailable. And speaking of stability, let's not forget Joe Flacco. The veteran quarterback, now 40 years old, has been the only healthy signal caller through training camp. His experience is invaluable, especially in a time of uncertainty. Flacco, who has a Super Bowl MVP under his belt, has been solid if not spectacular, and he's considered the frontrunner to be Cleveland's Week 1 starter. Interestingly, Flacco mentioned that he spoke with Sanders after the injury, but he didn't have much time to comfort the rookie, emphasizing the reality that everyone faces setbacks at some point, especially in football. He's a professional, knows what's at stake, and understands that sometimes things happen that are beyond anyone's control. Flacco's leadership is critical right now. Browns fans, you recall his performance last season. He's a seasoned quarterback who can guide this team through the ups and downs. Though he might not be flashy, his presence provides some much-needed stability, and the coaching staff is confident that he can step in if needed. The Browns are also likely to see some time from Flacco in their final preseason game against the Los Angeles Rams on August 23, giving him one last shot to sharpen his game before the regular season begins. It's a balancing act, giving young players a chance to shine, but also relying on the veteran leadership of Flacco to steady the ship. This whole situation with Sanders is a reminder of how unpredictable and unforgiving football can be. Just a few weeks ago, everything looked promising for the Browns' offense, and now they're navigating through a minor crisis at quarterback. The team's depth and resilience will be tested, but it's also a chance for other players to step up and prove their worth. Browns fans, you know how much this team has been building. There's a real sense that this season could be different, that the pieces are in place for a playoff run. But injuries are part of the game, and how the team responds will define them. Looking at the bigger picture, Cleveland has been making strategic moves in recent years to build a competitive roster. The addition of young talent, the development of key players, and the veteran leadership have all been part of the plan. Sanders' emergence was a big piece of that puzzle, representing hope for the future, but the Browns also have a strong veteran core that can carry them through tough times. Flacco's leadership and Gabriel's potential give the team a fighting chance even if Sanders is sidelined longer than expected. And let's not forget the history of the Browns in recent seasons. Cleveland has gone through its share of ups and downs, but the fan base remains passionate and loyal. The team's front office has shown confidence in their draft picks and free agent signings, and the coaching staff continues to develop a culture of resilience and hard work. This injury is just a bump in the road, but it's also a reminder of how important health and depth are in this league. Browns fans will be watching closely, hoping Sanders recovers quickly and returns to the field ready to lead. As we look ahead, the focus shifts to the upcoming preseason game and how the team will respond. Will Gabriel seize this opportunity and make a case for himself as the backup? Will Flacco get some reps and continue to mentor the younger players? And most importantly, how will Sanders bounce back from this injury? The Browns' coaching staff is optimistic that with proper treatment, Sanders could be back sooner rather than later, and when he does return, he'll have the full support of his teammates and the fans behind him. This is what makes NFL football so exciting, folks. The unpredictability, the resilience, the sheer passion of the players and fans alike. Cleveland's journey this season has many chapters left to be written, and right now, they're dealing with a chapter of adversity. But if history has taught us anything, it's that this team has faced challenges before and come out stronger. The Browns community is known for rallying behind their team, especially during tough times, and this injury will only fuel that determination. So Browns fans, stay tuned, stay hopeful, and keep that passion burning bright. The season is just around the corner, and there's still a lot to look forward to. Whether Sanders returns quickly or it's Gabriel or Flacco stepping in, one thing is certain. This team is committed to fighting every step of the way. We'll be watching closely, bringing you all the latest updates and celebrating every victory, big or small. The Cleveland Browns are more than just a team. They're a family, and together, we believe in the potential of this squad to make history once again. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Cleveland Browns news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on Sanders' injury? Are you confident in Gabriel stepping up, or do you think Flacco will be the steady hand that guides this team through the preseason and into the regular season? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Browns. Remember, this is a team that's all about resilience, passion, and community. We're in this together, and I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news. Thanks for being here, and as always, let's keep the Browns' spirit alive.